Welcome to Reality with Kiki. I'm your host, Kiki, and on this channel, we discuss reality TV, celebrity gossip, and viral topics. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you like our content. You can also follow us on our Facebook page. A link will be in the description box below, and we also have it linked in our bio. All right, so Love and Hip Hop Miami. So this episode starts off with the after effects of the argument or tension that Ace and Sheila had at the plant place. So Ace is at the studio because he's recording new music, and Sheila is like, I'm leaving and I'm not telling Ace where I'm going. I need to take time to myself, blah, blah, blah. And I just find it interesting that they always talk about therapy and communication and all these different things, but like y'all can't communicate with each other about what the real issues are. I don't know. I'm getting kind of bored with it, but you know. So then we move on to Suki, who is having a sit down with her road manager, Tip, and her boyfriend comes along. So I don't know. It's kind of weird because Suki is not really speaking up. And it's like Bill is trying to speak for her. And I'm just like, what place does he think that he has? Because he's like telling them, this is for her and y'all need to do this and y'all need to step up and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, who are you? And why are you here? I don't even think he knows what the meeting was supposed to be about because he just came in causing confusion. Like, this is my fiance. Y'all need to tighten up. Y'all need to do this and that. And it's just like, what are you talking about? That's not even what the purpose of this meeting is for. You need to see yourself out. Yes, his energy was just too aggressive for me. And then he like tried to turn and blame Tip, and it's like Tip just came back into the picture. So how is she at fault for anything that may be going wrong with Suki's career at the moment? Boy, bye. And I just feel like there's even further confusion because Suki is not speaking up. Like Tip is trying to be as professional as possible. And is just trying to figure out like what is my role. We need clarity on what my role is and what I should be doing. And I don't feel like giving her a real answer. I think part of it is that she wants to continue to allow her mother to manage her because her mother is obviously her mother and would have her best interests. But it doesn't mean that your mother is necessarily the best person to manage you in your career. But she doesn't want to fire her mother, so she's just kind of letting people do whatever. I don't know. It's weird because Suki to me is a person who is very confrontational and knows what she wants and will speak up for herself. But in this situation where she feels like torn, she can't make a decision. All right, so we move on to Trina. Trina is featured on a song and is about to do the video shoot. Management drops the ball again because they don't tell her the correct things that she needs to bring to wear for the shoot. Like it was something like, let's say she brought white sneakers when she needed black sneakers, but they told her she needed white sneakers, and then when she got there, they said, "Oh, actually, it's black sneakers." Just information not being relayed correctly. And one thing about one of her managers, CO, that I noticed is like he goes to everybody around Trina instead of speaking to her directly. So like before he went to her boyfriend, like, we I need you to do this, and we need to talk to her about that, and or he'll go to Joy, and be like, don't you think we should do this way? And it's like he can't. He feels like if he talks to the people around her, she will be more receptive. But I feel like as her manager, like if you can't be transparent with her, or she is not able to have a conversation with you without her blowing up and dismissing you, then like that's a problem. And there's a missing link in the communication. Like you should be able to sit down with her and tell her what it is and be transparent without a problem. Okay, so Amada, we move on to her, and she's concerned about her mother's health because her mother is not eating correctly, and she has a number of diagnoses that, like, if she continues to go down this path, it could further deteriorate her health. And, she doesn't want that. Obviously, that's her mom. And I'm just like, I just be watching her scenes and shaking my head because she is just so dramatic. Like to Amara, this show is her own telenovela because everything is just so much more dramatic. So her mom ended up feeling some pain or whatever. So she rushed her to the hospital to get her checked out. She's having her checked out, and she has the right to feel worried, but it's just the way that her reaction is, it's just like, oh my God, like this is life or death right now. We don't even know what's happening. Her mom is feeling a little bit of pain. So she's worried. And then once the doctor is finished with her mom, she pulls him to the side outside and just like, I've been having a number of symptoms. I don't know. I might be pregnant. Can you check me out? And he's like, of course. And I'm just like, girl, take yourself to Walgreens and go get a pregnancy test. It don't take all of this. And then you can confirm at the doctor later. But the dramatics of it all. All right, so Ace goes out with his sister and his mom, and they're at a restaurant and they're having a conversation. And his mom brings up the fact that, Sheila doesn't really speak to her when they were at the Mother's Day brunch. She paid her dust. She doesn't really like that. And Ace is like, I hear you, but I don't really see it from your perspective. Like, I don't feel like that's the way things are really happening. The way you're telling me, they're not really happening that way. And his mom is just like upset. She's like, I just feel like everybody else's feelings are taken into consideration and nobody like thinks about me or considers my feelings. But I feel like a part of her feels like she's losing her son because, he's married now and he spends a lot of his time with his wife. Also within him defending her, she feels like, you always defend her. You don't see my side, like what's going on. And he's defending his wife as he should. But I think that there are other layers to their relationship. So, like, Sheila seems like a more reserved person. And that may have, like, her anxiety may have something to do with that. And Blondie seems more outspoken and extroverted. And one thing that I noticed, like, people who are extroverted, they don't understand people who are introverted. Like, they don't understand them. They don't really like them. They think that, like, they're being judgmental because they're not speaking, when truly it's just that, like, I don't feel like talking or I don't talk that much, but they don't see it from their perspective. And that's why I was saying, like, in an earlier episode, Sheila has to match her energy. Now, I'm not saying that she should change herself or that she has to make his mother respect her, but, like, if somebody is being disrespectful, like, you got to give them that same energy just so they know that, like, you don't play that and to shut it down. And from there, you can move on. But, like, she's not listening. All right, so back to Amara. So she's at home and she's talking to her dad, and she's just like, mom is not doing that well. I'm going to need some extra help with her around the house, make sure she's eating the right things. And he's kind of like, okay, well, that's nice, but I'm planning to go back to DR. Now, what I find funny about her action asking for help from him is the fact that, like, her parents don't even get along. Her mother can't stand that man. So she wouldn't even listen to him anyway. But she is like caught off guard by the fact that he's saying that he's going back to DR, because she's like, I just got my family back together. Like, I'm kind of feeling, you know, I think her inner child is happy that her both of her parents are in the same household. But he's like, I'm gone. And it's interesting because he came back around when his health was declining. And a lot of people feel like he only came around because now she has money and resources, and he needed those things so that he can get the treatment that he needed. And now that he got what he needed, he's gone. You know, it's like he used her and is using her because he didn't even raise her. You were not around when she was growing up. You didn't provide for her, but now she turns around and she's providing for you. And you can so easily just like be like, oh, well, I'm going back home. I'm going to DR, instead of living out the rest of your days like around your daughter who you were not there for. And for Amada, who like wants to build a relationship with him, she's better than me because if you left me for dead when I was a child, you could forget about it. I don't care what you got going on when I'm an adult and I have money now. Like, that's not my problem. Just like I wasn't your problem when I was growing up. Even in that, like, she told him, there's a possibility that I'm pregnant. So, like, she could have your grandchild and you want to get out of here. Like, I don't care. I'm going back to DR. And, she told him, and he was like kind of excited about it. She told him to, like, be quiet because she didn't want to tell her mom just yet. But I am interested to know what her mother's reaction is going to be. I mean, we already know she's not going to be happy because she don't even like the boyfriend. So if she finds out that she's pregnant, she probably going to be upset because not only because she don't like him, but because she feel like Amada has so much more to do in her career that, like, her getting pregnant and having a baby is going to slow her down. Okay, so we have an explosive ending. Suki and Bill are having a full blown argument in her car. She's going off on him. He's rebutting. So he's mad because she shut him down in front of management when they had that little meeting or whatever. He feels like she shouldn't have checked him in front of them, and he's feeling some type of way, like his ego is bruised. And my thing is like, it's not her job to protect your ego, especially since you were talking out of turn. Why were you there in the first place? What do you have going on besides Suki? Like, go find you some business. It was inappropriate, but it was blowing up. Like, she pulled over and told him to get out her car, call your mama for a ride, blah blah blah. Management had to come over, production had to come over and like see what's going on because it really was like getting heated. So that's how that ended. But y'all let me know what you thought about this episode down in the comments below. And I will speak to you next time.